Okay, here we go. We're live. I'll even go in here in case Daz wants to join. I don't think he will be, but why not? Let's get started. I should have turned on some fans. It always gets a little toasty in here when I got all this streaming stuff going. Let me pull up chat here. I've got the stream bots going, so if you guys chat, I'll know. Or also there's a text-to-speech command, !TTS. Pizza. There we go. Let's start off doing the review portion, and then I'll get into some comparisons, and then we'll do some modding, probably Omron optical swapping, because these FE opticals are just okay. Very good. Here we go. Pulsar X2H Crazylight. When these came out, they were pretty hyped, dude. I still think the Crazylight series is really good. Excellent build quality. The price is pretty high, but you can't get better build quality for the weight. And the X2H Crazylight in particular is a huge step up for me shape-wise. First of all, Pulsar sent the X2H Crazylight out for me to review. I'm shocked that they want me to do a full-length live stream review for the Amazon page, but sure, why not? So thank you guys very much for this. Then this X2 Crazylight, I actually got this from eBay with a faulty scroll wheel according to the listing for only 35 bucks. They are different shapes. The H stands for hump, presumably. The X2H has a tapered waist, a flared hip on the right and left side, and a taller, kind of bulbous feeling hump. The X2, by comparison, the hump is not quite as high. It's a little bit more forward biased in the hump also, whereas the H is like way farther back. Click height similar, and the X2 also has relatively flat sides. There still is some hip flare, but not a whole lot. Yeah, continuing with the shape, slight comfort groups in the buttons on both of them. They feel pretty much equivalent. And these are both a relatively small size. The X2H gets compared often to a Sora. Here's a Sora V2 in pink, which is absolutely a larger mouse, and they do feel quite a bit different. So I love the X2H so much because of the side geometry. The hump I don't personally use a whole lot, but the side here, you have a really nice tapered waist, which will give you a tighter grip width, which I find better for aiming. But the X2H has it relatively, it slopes inward and then it comes down, or so it feels. Whereas the Sora will feel just angled, purely angled. I personally like the X2H shape a lot more. I mained the size 2 X2H Crazylight at work or not Crazylight, just the normal one, for quite a long time. They just released the medium size. This is the small. Yeah, I guess next thing is general features. Build quality. Build quality, absolutely fantastic. Both these mice are very, very solidly made. I would say the X2 actually has maybe slightly less side flex, but these are really solid for how crazy light they are. No, yep, very solid towards the front, which you can sometimes run into button grinding. Hump feels good. No dare you A950 wing shell sink in here. Button wobble, there's a little bit, not too bad though. I would say that's an acceptable amount. I would say that's slightly, it's probably about average this day and age for a mouse this price. Side buttons, you do have a little bit of teeter-tottering, but you do not have any real sinking except for the back button, maybe more towards the back. And on the normal X2, oh yeah, these are some really, really good side buttons. No creaking on either of my copies. The main clicks. So I'm going to be swapping to Omron Opticals eventually in this. Ooh, is my music too loud? Music might be too loud. Nope, it's just on my end. Okay. The clicks. So these are using FE Opticals. FE Opticals are 5-pin opticals, so they're going to be compatible with Omron Opticals TTC V2s and like ATK's custom brand ones, the new Kale ones, and GGN ones that are coming out. They remind me a little bit of how an Omron mechanical feels. They are on the lighter side. In particular, my X2 is lighter than my X2H, though this is used so grain of salt. They are lighter, very, very little pre-travel, very nicely tensioned. The tactile bump, it's sharp, not very loud, but it's also rather shallow feeling in its sharpness. Like, once the actuation point gives, the amount that it gives downward is not as much as something that has a lot more, say, like a TTC Gold or an Omron Optical or a Japanese Omron. Those, the give point will, once you hit over that tactile bump, they send you farther down than an FE Optical. FE Opticals do have a little bit of sponginess on the post travel, on the after actuation, which is good. This helps with spammability. So this is all to say, FE Opticals are a very spammable switch, a light spammable switch. I personally wish they had a more longer tactile point for kind of more positive confirmation. If you have to do a lot of like consistent tap firing, these are very good. If you really want a sharp, crisp feel, you might want to go with something with a higher tactility. Side buttons, I already talked about their build quality, which is very good. They're relatively light, not a whole lot of travel. Pre-travel is almost non-existent. I actually like seeing a little bit of pre-travel on side buttons because it helps avoid accidental presses. These guys are pill-shaped. They're low down. They're not placed way, way high up. They are lower down and farther forward on the X2H, largely due to, oh yeah, like my thumb lands mostly in between the two, whereas on the X2, it lands more on the front one. Scroll wheel, good notches in it. They are not using their Pulsar blue encoder anymore, I believe. Click feel isn't as good as like the original X2 series, where they use like a certain mechanism to make the middle mouse click feel even better. These are still good. I would still consider these. They don't have a lot of not a lot of travel. They're probably using a single little square plunger for the micro switch, not a true full-size micro switch. Yeah, rolling the tactile points between, I would say maybe 7 out of 10. And the X2, this one is much more tactile. This one feels better. Oh, this one feels better for sure. This is more like an 8 out of 10. The knurling is okay. I wish it was maybe a little bit sharper. I would say the old version is actually more grippy, but it's still fine. Let's see here. Weight and balance. Let's do weights, huh? Get the old precision scale out. Good, you guys can see that number there, I believe. Yes, you sure can. So, original X2H Mini coming in at 52.4 grams. X2H Crazylight, 39.18 grams, and that's with really big skates. They advertise this as 37 grams, probably without skates. And the X2 Crazylight advertises 35 grams without skates, coming in at 37. Yep, 37.3. Look at that. Also fun that when you get the special colorways, you get a different dongle. These are using the Pulsar 8K dongles. These are different from the 4K dongles that were really cheap at my local micro center. Yeah, if you're looking to try one of these out without buying, if you're local to a micro center, they often have display units of these. Price is not cheap, but I got mine used on eBay again for $35, which is absolutely incredible. Those skates are garbage. Yeah, let's talk about the skates. I personally don't think the skates are garbage. I think they are a high-quality PTFE skate. They have good edge rounding. They are on the thicker side. They're not super duper thin, where if you take them off like I'm going to do, they're going to be all creased and folded into oblivion. However, they are not my favorite skate. I'm saying they are a good quality skate. They're not my favorite. They are fine for a stock skate. I don't think they are anything like a core pads or an x-ray pad type of skate. Again, they have edge rounding, but the adhesive does go all the way to the edge, and they're a little bit slower. I would say these are a 6 out of 10 skate for me. I think for most buyers, these are going to be perfectly fine. If you are really into premium skates, Pulsar has quite a presence, so you should be able to find aftermarket skates, no problem. Coating. Yeah, these have a good coating. The black one, absolute fingerprint magnet. It's a good coating. It's a rubberized coating, but it's pretty thin in the way it feels. So I don't think it's definitely not my favorite coating. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And the X2 Crazylight, at least in this gray and green that I have here, feels pretty much identical. Performance, yeah, performance felt good for me. I have a few weeks of use on the X2H Crazylight. Again, I just got this in today. I had issues in the past with the smaller receiver and Pulsar mice with wireless interference while I was at work, particularly around lunchtime when people would start microwaving things. I had issues. That's no longer the case here with these larger dongles. Even on the, like this Founders Edition here with this 4K dongle, which is a different dongle from these 8K ones. The 4K dongle, I had no issue, but yeah, again, no issue on either of these. On this Crazylight, I haven't tested this one, but I assume it's going to be the same. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like the same exact PCB also. Balance, I didn't talk about too much. Weight balancing is, yeah, it was never an issue for me whatsoever. I would say it's right in line. Yeah, right in line with where this rib is. And then on the X2, it might be a little bit more forward because of the lack of the hump. No, I would say it's actually pretty similar, yeah. Yeah, no, I would say it's right in line with that rib. And what else do I have to talk about here? Pulsar wanted me to give feedback if there was anything that I wanted to critique. I do think, like, off the bat, Pulsar shapes, I like a lot of their stuff. None of their stuff is my absolute favorite, but they are good products. Some people have issues with QC. I don't. I do know on the older Pulsar mice, they use foam up at the buttons here to reduce post-travel. So after you click down, there would be foam to cushion it. This foam would deteriorate over time. It was like adhesive-backed foam. So you would wear away all the foam and all that's left is adhesive. So then you get sticky clicks. It's a really easy fix. You just take it apart the mouse, you take out one of the buttons and you just scrape that adhesive off and then it's fine. I don't know. We'll open these up and see if there's any of that adhesive here. Maybe they learned from their RMA rates. But yeah, quality-wise, I've had no problem with any Pulsar mice. I have, oh man, what else do I have? I have a 10 Signature Edition. I have an X2H in white. I have an X2H ES in red. I have a Pulsar 10 Signature Edition in red. And I've had no problems with any of mine. However, I will say the value proposition is getting a little bit tough. For $130, these are... You are competing with... Pulsar's a big brand now. You know, they're sold in Micro Center. So with that, I think they're trying to compete with the Logitechs and the Razors. At $130, I personally think something like an Mchos L7 gets you 90% of the way there, if not 100% of the way there, at a fraction of the price. This is the Pro version with Omron Opticals. These come in at like $40 to $45, and it's basically a direct clone of the X2 non-H. There's currently no X2H clone that I know of that's like truly a clone, but like this is basically a clone. And the Mchos, you're gonna get Bluetooth, which the Crazylight does not have. You're gonna get a much lower price. You're gonna get Omron Opticals. You still get a very good coating. You get pretty much the exact same shape, all at a lower price. Now the X2H, until somebody comes around and clones it, I guess this is kind of your only choice. Now compared to like a normal X2H, where that is a lot cheaper, I don't know, X2Hs, you can get these all day on sale for like $50-ish, maybe 60-ish, and then maybe even lower if you go used. And the main thing you're getting, the pros to the Crazylight are, I guess you're getting the updated sensor, you're getting a lower weight, you're getting FE opticals, which I think are better than the Ratias. But the original X2H, you're getting a better scroll wheel and middle mouse at a much lower price. I don't know. I think they're all fine options, but yeah, I would love to see maybe... We saw Razer release the SE version of the Viper V3, and we saw Logitech also release the GPX Lightspeed SE or whatever is the value option for like $100, and they're 1K hertz instead of 4K, 8K. Maybe Pulsar should do that, give that the same treatment. Or maybe we should see wired versions of these. I don't know how Endgame Gear is doing with their sales of their wired mice. Maybe Pulsar can also get some wired mouse sales too. Yeah. And Pulsar has some really good stuff cooking this year. We talked about it on Mousecast. We've got the X2N Crazylight that's been leaked on FCC ID. It's going to be a narrow version, maybe like an OP1. We're going to have... Oh man, we have the MMO mouse that they teased with they teased the like 12 side buttons of a mouse. We have a bunch of more collabs coming. We got the Pikachu, more Pokemon collabs coming. We got a Noctua Feynman coming. Yeah, so I guess that's it for my review. Do you guys have any questions? I can also do some shape comparisons if you're interested. TLDR, I think they're good products. The price could be better. $130 is steep. I don't think the street price is that. Let's check street price right now, actually. And let me know if there's any shape comparisons you guys want to do. Link in the description for this mouse. I signed up for Amazon affiliate, so there's my commission rate if you guys are curious. And I think anyone can sign up for this. Anyway, $130, and there's a medium now. I do really want the medium. I honestly would love a size 3, a large. Dude, I would be down for that. But let's check eBay, because eBay is sometimes helpful. Pulsar X2H Crazylight. The X2H is considerably newer too. $70 for a non-Crazylight. Oh, we got some Pokemon ones going for $210-ish. South Korea exclusive. Here's a for 110. Yeah, I guess these are retaining their value a little bit better than I thought, which just goes to show that they're a pretty damn good product, even though Pulsar produces thousands of these. You know, this ain't no limited time run. These are available in your local Micro Center. Are they available at Best Buy? I wonder if that is a thing. No way. They are available at your local Best Buy. Schwamper says, yo, and chat. Hey, Schwamper. You know, I was surprised when I saw the OP1 WV2 was $120. Yeah. So we got X2H or X2 Crazylight Mini for $130. Yes, these are available locally. And then even Micro Center. Microcenter.com. Let's check out this. I know Pulsar even teased. They have a Pulsar North America coming. Oh wait, Pulsar thermal scopes. No, Pulsar gaming gears. Do you guys see this? They have a USA Twitter. They had whatever. They had a USA thing coming. Then they've also partnered with Lethal Gaming Gear. I don't know if that was just a temporary thing to get around tariffs. Just curious what Crazylights go for. They're also $130-ish. Open box for 10. Oh no, that's Pulsar 10s. $140 for the Bruce Lee 85th. If this is your jam. Pretty cool blue. Sure. Oh, that's a deal right there. $78 for LA edition. Yeah, another cool thing, Pulsar always does a great job with their unique colorways. For sure. X-Light Crazylight, I'm somewhat interested in it. I don't love the Crazylight shape, but I would love to try a small ergo that's that lightweight. Okay. Without having any, yeah. So without having any other questions in chat, I think we're going to get into the disassembly. Please interrupt me if y'all want, if you guys want shape comparisons or something. I'm here for you guys. Also, fun fact, James Donkey RSR7 that has been like forgotten about. This is like pretty much the same shape as a Lethal Gaming Gear LA1, by the way. If anyone was interested in this, I know Schwamper in chat was nearly interested in buying this from me. I feel like I probably forgot stuff in this quote-unquote... Oh, I forgot the unboxing. Let's do an unboxing, huh? Everyone likes a good unboxing. Pulsar boxes, huh? These are kind of cool, huh? Yeah, that's cool. So my used one has just a cable. This is the X2 Crazylight. You get a cable, you get some dot skates. These are black and they're not very well rounded. Ugh. The cable is not very flexible. It seems decent quality though. You get your little playing card, which is fun, I guess. And manual. Okay then. I do like seeing dot skates as an option. Unpopular opinion, I think it's fine if my ship without the skates installed. With manufacturers advertising without the weight before skates, I think that's fine. Especially since this day and age, people just apply their own. So, like, if you know you're going to run dot skates, you don't want to have to ruin a set of stock skates ripping them off. Their skates are so bad, though. Yeah, again, I don't fully agree. I don't think they're bad. I call them a 6 out of 10 skate. Maybe on a $130 mouse, they're a bit out of date, but they're acceptable skates in my opinion. They put their cable in like this bag. Yo, let's get away from single-use plastics. Okay, it's a black cable. Cool. It's not very flexible. It seems thick and durable. Is it blue USB here? It is, so I assume that means it's USB 3. So it's like faster. Man, when I was getting into building computers, like USB 3 was all new and all the rage. Now it's just like, I don't know, this is my boomer take. Building computers has gotten so much more straightforward. Things are so much better now. Both in terms of documentation. And not to mention specs. 2-year warranty, good to see that, I guess. Playing card. Oh, I get a sticker in here? Oh yeah, Crazylight sticker and more of those. Yeah, these skates are not rounded at all. They look like the leftover clippings from like a hole, you know when you empty out a hole punch? Yeah, I do wish their stock skates were a bit faster. I don't know, I would love to see, like instead of a dot skate option, send, like ship 2 sets of skates. Like even if it makes the, like if it makes the mouse cost, you know, $2 more or whatever, send a set of like speed skates and a set of stock skates. I think that would be fun. WMS kind of does that, right? I was opening up the other day my BeastX Mini, original BeastX Mini, like old ones, and it came with glass skates. It came with 2 sets of glass skates, like corner triangles and big pad glass skates. Pretty neat. All right, I think we need to get into the disassembly. Any other shape comparisons or questions you guys have? Anyone tried the Unius Black Lotus? Ugh, I avoid Vancer factory mice. They just look cheap and creaky. I'm sorry. Man, dude. X2, it's like such a shame. X2 Crazylight is objectively a good mouse, but M chose L7. I like this. And mine is modded here with, okay, let's see this. These are both with skates. My M chose actually might be lighter. It's not as well built. I've sanded the base and I did a smaller battery. 36.6 grams, and then this is going to be like 37. Yeah. Yeah, dude, what good products. We have so many good options this day and age. We're going to start, so how this is going to go, we're going to do the X2H Crazylight disassembly first because that's like the quote-unquote review. I'm supposed to give this video to Pulsar. They said they're going to put it on their Amazon page. I don't know what they're what they're smoking to put. It's going to be a 2-hour live stream, but okay. Sure. And we'll do this one first, and then we're going to swap in Omron Optical. We're going to keep this one stock. We're going to keep this one stock. I want one stock option. But this one, we're going to do Omron Opticals, and we're going to change the encoder. We're going to test it first, though, because apparently the encoder is bad. That's why I got this for a screaming deal of $35 with free shipping. Insane. Insane. It was a Micro Center return, too. That's a Micro Center sticker right there. All right. X2H Crazylight. We're going to do some photos for the old Reddit also, because you guys know me. I like to post to Reddit. I got eBay notifications. Oh, look at that. M chose L7. Guys, go. 2 minutes left on this. It's bid up to $39. This is an L7 Plus in black. Yeah, on eBay right now. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Go, go, go. It's out of production. RIP. Value mouse of the year. So, I got some new little... Check this out, y'all. Well, first of all, I need to wait here. But I got new little plastic pry tools, huh? AliExpress. This whole case of 20 tools was like $1. Crazy, brother. So let's see how these do at peeling up skates. They got a nice, and then a point here. And the plastic should make it so I don't mar. Oh, bro. You guys need to try these. So, okay, that just went under no problem at all. And then I don't want to bend this. I'm not going to lever this and bend it up. So I'm just going to... Oh, dude, these are... The adhesive came with it. No problem. Man. That gets bonus points for me for being an easy skate removal. Damn. I don't know if that was all the tool doing its work there or a little bit of me. Man. Yo, giveaway. I'll send you guys these. Just pay shipping. Buy them yourself, in other words. Let's do the second one. What do we think the skate weight is going to be? I actually haven't looked at this one yet. I haven't seen it. I'm watching my eyes here. I'm guessing this is going to be... Oh, I guess the box kind of spoiled it. I was going to say this is going to be 2 grams in skates, but I'm going to go as far to say this is... let's see, do I want to go under or over 2 grams? I'm going to say... Man, this one's not coming off as easily. I don't want to crease this one too much because I want to put this one back together stock. Yeah, I think I need a bigger... Just rip it old-fashioned. I'm going to say 2.11 grams. Boardsy has his special edition X2 Crazylight, right? The Zebra edition that Boardsy does. He said when he was collaborating with Pulsar, one of the options was to go to a smaller battery. Actually, these are going to be less. There's going to be less than 2 grams. These are thin. Yeah, 1.83. Again, picture for Reddit. And I don't know, quick check, are the X2H skates the exact same as X2? The rear one might be different because of the hip flare. No, they are identical. Yo. Check that out. Why did my front skate come off so much more easily than my rear one? Yeah. Yeah, those skates are the same. There you go. Now it's starting to look like that new G-Wolves mouse, the Lycan, where it's like raised off the bottom. Okay, I like to get a photo of the bottom to show people where the screws are at, because there's nothing better than ruining a front skate only to realize there's no screws beneath it. 37.4 grams, pretty much as advertised. Thank you, Pulsar, for not lying about your weights like everyone else seems to be. That's the new fad. It's the new fad. I am in support of... I think it's fine to give your weight without skates, because what we don't want is then manufacturers being like, we have the lightest mouse, and then they ship it with like crappy little corner skates. So I am fine with the industry standardizing on weight, not including skates. I'm fine with that. And then, like, quite frankly, if you are such a weight schizo that, like, you don't want to use large... You like the feeling of large pad skates, but you don't want to use them because they add 1.8 grams, you just got to get over that, bud, because 1.8 grams versus, like, half a gram for dot skates, you're not going to notice it. Anyone in chat? Elo Shapes, misleading, Thunderhead, I have it. Okay, good. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. All right, we can, so I'm going to just pry, oh, that was very easy. Okay. Right. There's a rear clip back in here. So I'm going to use the, let's see. I don't think I can get to it. No, I can't. There's a rear clip right back middle here. So honestly, sometimes you can just break these and not really care, but I am going to care a little bit. Will my dental pick work? Oh, it might, brother. Sure did. Easy peasy. Dental picks. Buy them from like Amazon and stuff. They're cheap. I got mine from like a junkyard. they were like in a cup at the cash register for like $1, and I was like, I'll take 2. Well, I bought 1, broke the tips off. See, here's a broken tip. There's a good tip. We went back and bought another great little tinkering tool. All right, let's get some photos here of the internals. Very nicely optimized PCB. That's going to be one of the lightest PCBs we've seen. Oh, that's a light scroll wheel too. They did a good job with that. Yes, sir. Hollow structure. Still maintained rubber. I'm glad they didn't go with... You know what? We got to give credit where credit's due. They did not go with a stupid all-plastic wheel. The only person who's done an all-plastic wheel well is the VGN F2. 1.4-ish grams on a scroll wheel is pretty good. That's definitely above average. Or below average. It's very good. I'd say most scroll wheels are more like 1.8 grams. We do have a Pulsar blue encoder. Looks like it is 10 millimeter. We got, give you guys a close up here. Nordic 52840. Their Pulsar XS1 sensor is simply a 3950. Yep, FE opticals that are branded as Pulsar opticals. I don't really know what Pulsar has done, if anything. They might be lighter than standard FEs. Hang on, I do have a couple FEs over here that I just put away. I don't know. Are these Pulsar FEs? I don't know what FE stands for. It kind of looks like the Final Mouse font, doesn't it? Like a Final Mouse. Oh, these are branded as Pulsar also. Yeah. Yeah, they're not a bad switch. They're not a bad switch. They are, like, again, in terms of spammability, if you want a light switch, they are a good, possibly very good option. They're just not my favorite. I also like the little touch here we have of the heat shrink tubing to cover up your ketchup mustard cables. Oh, this is interesting. JST 1.0 connector with a clip on top makes me think ATK Factory. Panasonic plunger for middle mouse switch. These are... Yeah, I would have liked to see more travel. And then Pulsar blue encoder. So we got the scroll wheel weight. Let's do battery weight. So the battery, we're looking at a 200 milliamp hour battery. Hello, how can reduce weight of G304? Easy choices, do a AAA battery mod. Otherwise, get a different mouse because it's not really a great mouse. I don't know. It's a fine mouse. You said G304, which means you're not USA. Because we have the G305 here. It's the same thing. They just renamed it for other markets as far as I know. Yeah, they do have a battery hold down bracket in here, but let's go ahead and I'll get the weight with the connector on. Black thermistor, red JST pinout. This is going to be light. This is going to be like 3.91. Ah, it's close. Cool. And next, let's do PCB weight. Yeah, if any of you guys do tinkering, these like plastic pry tools, I have a few different ones here. The only ones I've actually paid for are the black ones that you just saw, which I think I literally paid. I got 20 of them for like $1. So if you guys do tinkering, plastic pry tools, buy them because they will, if they save you from scuffing your mouse one time, that's worth $1. And they're on AliExpress. You can get them on Amazon too. You just search like plastic pry tool, or sometimes they'll be marketed as like a phone repair separator. They're just useful. This mouse came apart pretty easily, fortunately. Oh, look at that. Factory worker stripped the screw a little bit. Haha. Remember, things are still hand assembled. Yeah, no problem. You just had to press in a little bit more. No problem. My brother-in-law is coming over possibly later this week for me to help him fix a... Oh, what the hell does he have? Thank you, Lauren. An ice maker. He wants my help, like, tinkering. I guess it has, like, a gearbox inside of it, and he said it sounded like the gearbox got all crunchy. Maybe stripped one of the plastic teeth. But yeah, tinkering on stuff can be fun, right? I need to work on finishing my basement so I can increase my tinker space. And then I can build a bathroom down there, then I'll have a tinkle space. No laugh from the wife. Ugh. 7.61 grams. That is very good. Huh? Oh, I was saying that in the basement I'll build a tinker space, and then I'll build a bathroom to have a tinkle space. Still no laugh. She's smiling, though. Oh, now she's laughing. Okay. Laughing at your own joke. Let's get some close-up shots of the PCB here. Pulsar blue encoders are a very good encoder. I don't know what Pulsar did, but they are pretty much... Okay, I'm a sucker for really high tactility. Get out of here, dog hair. So, like an Alps ECO1 or whatever they're called are probably my favorite encoders, but in terms of, like, they could potentially be overly tactile. Pulsar blues are not overly tactile. Think of, like, a well-binned TTC gold. You guys got to remember that binning encoders, like, the specs on them for the rotational torque, it's like 30 gram centimeter. I forget what the actual unit is. Gram millimeters? I forget. But it's like 30 plus or minus 15. The tolerance is like ridiculous. So Pulsar blues have always had good tactility, probably an 8, possibly 9 out of 10 tactility for how notchy they are. But the lumps between them, they're not very loud, and the lumps, while being crisp, have a nice kind of rounded feel. It's not overly sharp, while it still is very good at indexing position to position. Pulsar blue encoders are absolutely top-notch. Let's get a weight of the base. This scale I got from Amazon. It's just like 10 bucks. I don't know, just search like precision scale. Sometimes they'll be called like jewelry scale. 6 grams for a base is very good. Yeah. Oh, this is 100% an ATK factory mouse. That side button PCB, I have seen this before. Why don't we take a look at it? This is 100% an ATK factory mouse. Yeah. Which the like manufacturer list was like leaked to Twitter, and I reposted and I talked about it on a Mousecast. I forget some of the lists, but was it who recently changed that was so Pulsar had changed? Was it Pulsar who had changed? I think it was Pulsar who had changed, and it was TTC 2-pin mini micro switches. I can get a weight of this. I think you're pretty schizo if you're like removing side buttons for weight reduction, but sure. Yeah. I forget who had switched factories. Was it Lamzu? No. One of the major guys switched factories. Where Nova? That is a good question. I think she's hanging out with Lauren or something, or maybe on the bed. She's on the bedroom by herself. Should I call her over? Nova! Nova, come here, Nova! Was that Neon who wants to see, or was that you, Neon? Oh, no, that was Necro. Okay. Yeah, another telltale sign that it's an ATK factory. Their molds, they'll say DM, and then a bunch of numbers and stuff. The plastic here, PC plus ABS, that's polycarbonate and ABS. The rest of the numbers here might just be like a mold or a quality control number. But yeah, ATK factory stuff, the molds always have like DM on them. I don't know why. Neon probably asleep. It's 3 AM here. Yeah. I'm surprised at how many people are watching. Y'all are crazy. This is not good content. I want to take apart the main buttons here for a few things. So some quality things that I love to see from Pulsar here. First thing is this foam pad and the top forks here. So there's no bottom forks for supporting the scroll wheel. They're on the top. If it's implemented well, this is fine. Possibly better, in my opinion. It at least makes assembly a little bit easier because like putting in the scroll wheel without having to deal with the forks is nice. The foam pad helps prevent rattle. That's really nice to see. Again, these are hand assembled, so somebody, if they decide to put this here, that's additional assembly time. That's somebody taking their little square off their sticker and sticking it here with their tweezers, and, you know, maybe just a few seconds, but things add up. We have lubricated centering holes here. So these little pins here help prevent the buttons from swaying too far back and forth. So there's a little bit of sway here. It could be better. And then just going by sound, these definitely have foam on the underside. We'll take one of these out and see if Phalange's made a fool of himself. So there we go. There's the foam pad. So maybe Pulsar didn't learn, or maybe they just have gone with a different foam. I don't know. But over time on the old X2, sometimes you'll see them listed on eBay as is sticky clicks. And that's because this foam will wear away, leaving only the adhesive pad left. And then when you click down, it sticks. But the purpose of this in the first place is to make the clicks, like if you slap the clicks, you don't have such a hollow sound. And it just makes it a little bit more buttoned up and tighter. I wonder, when is the day we're going to see like a mouse filled with sound deadening material, you know? Anything else to see here? We got nice thin fulcrums. Yeah, this is definitely a polycarbonate polymer blend with ABS, because polycarb is... ABS would be more bendy than this. Polycarb is pretty rigid. Polycarbonate is like, it's a hard plastic. It's a very durable plastic, like plexiglass will be polycarbonate. Do we really want to get a weight of this? I don't really... I'll get a weight of it because why not, but I don't know. Guys in chat, is there any reason why you modders out there would want a weight of the top? Also, shout out Pulsar for using all the same screw in the entire mouse, except they have, yeah, so internally it's all the same screw, and then the skates use all the same screw. Interestingly, what is it, a Rocket and no, Razer does not do Phillips head, they do Hex, or Torx on all four, and then Rocket / Turtle Beach, they do 3 Phillips head and then 1 Torx. Like, as if it's like an anti-tampering thing, you know? But like security bits exist. They'll be like Torx with and this is just a normal Torx, so it's really not a security bit. You know, the side rigidity of this is very impressive. They do not have a cross brace at all in this mouse. That is very impressive. What that means they had to do here is they're using the bottom as the cross brace. So you can see they have all these little standoffs. They got a clip right in the middle here. Standoffs on the other side. And yeah, we have some reinforcing ribs here. Because remember, anytime you just have like a flat piece of material, that's gonna easily bend. You know, if you have a flat piece of material, that'll bend easily. But if you put a rib in it, now it won't really bend. Think of like how I-beams are. Or maybe I'm just a nerdy engineer. And other people don't think of I-beams. I don't know. Am I weird? Do you guys think about I-beams? How they have like mass moment of inertia. Oh, you also shout out Pulsar for not doing no buttons down here on the bottom. Okay. They have no buttons on the bottom. They just have this exposed. I'm fine with this. I don't think... I'm fine with that. Maybe there's like somebody out there who's like, ew, I'm touching the PCB. How cheap. Give me like a slider. I'm the opposite. I'm like, yeah, dude. Give me like... I'm cool with this. Especially since this feels good. Yeah, the power button slider. Yo, I rate my mice based on how good quality the power button slider feels. All mice that have a press and hold power button are F tier. Looking at you, ROM and Razer. The one Torx is most likely a Japanese law carryover. Can't have easy access to the internal battery. Whoa! Mr. LKL. Dude, you know friggin' everything. What? Nobody else does it. Isn't that interesting, though? So as a person who works in manufacturing, you got to remember there are like industry-wide standards that everyone will be aware of, but every once in a while, somebody does something a little bit different, and that's not always because like you're supposed to do it that way, you know? It could be that, like, you know, one of the product developers or designers or whoever, or whatever, somebody over at Turtle Beach was like, yo, I used to work in appliance manufacturing, and yeah, we couldn't allow that. So yes, we need one Torx head or something like that. And all the other mouse manufacturers are like, it's not applicable to mice, but okay, bud. And it's like not really a significant cost increase, so they just keep doing it. Yeah. It's like it's not a pry-verb, but have you guys seen that thing that's like, oh, this is the strip screw. Wow, I put the strip screw on the same spot. Didn't even mean to. The story goes, so there's a couple military guys in the military. They're buddies, and they're at basic training or whatever. And being buddies, they get into some shenanigans, and they get caught, and they get into trouble. As punishment, they get sent out on a hot summer day to repaint all the lines in the parking lot. So they're out there sweating, laboring away, repainting these lines. Their sergeant or whatever is watching over them, and they finish repainting all the lines in the parking lot, which didn't even need to be done, but it's about the punishment, not about the end result. And they're only a short time into before they run out of, before they finish all the lines, but they still have all this paint left. So the sergeant says, well, you guys haven't finished your time, so how about you paint a big old dot in the middle of the parking lot with the remaining paint? And they go, okay. So they're painting this dot, this huge dot that covers up like half the parking lot. And they serve their time, serve their country, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward years later, the two buddies are meet each other at a bar randomly, and they say, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you since basic training. Hey, you remember that story of when we had to paint that parking lot? Oh yeah, remember how we had to paint that giant dot because there was still paint left over? And the guy says, yeah, you know what's crazy? I drove by that basic training place, whatever, and I shit you not, there were people out there repainting the parking lot, and they were even repainting our dot. So this is a little tale in, just because something's been done a certain way forever does not mean that it's correct. Or something. There's my story. Yeah, that goes back together very nicely. Dude, what a fantastic shape. Oh, brother. You just feel so locked in. I should have done a more in-depth shape analysis, but one of the things I love about Pulsar X2H is this ridge here. Really a lot of mice that have this ridge here. So the way that I grip, I care a lot about side geometry, particularly on small mice, because I largely fingertip. I have a tiny bit of thenar contact here, and maybe a little bit of MCP contact too, but for the most part, it's all in the sides for me. My left side, I don't really care too much about. Just give me forward bias side buttons. My right side, I care very much about. I want hip flare because I want somewhere to perch my pinky. And I want angle here to give me something to actually lift up on. I don't want flat sides. I don't want outward flared sides. And even better is if I can get a nice ridge right here. Not a super rounded over thing, but something with a little bit of sharpness. I'm not like talking actual sharpness, but like definition. And that allows your distal phalange, your farthest joint, to really grab onto that there. That's what I love to see. So the X2 normal X2 has this, but the thing is, it's a wider mouse, so that makes that spreads my fingers wider apart. So, you know, if your fingers are closer together, you get more angle than if they're wider apart. So the narrowness of the waist in the X2H pulls my fingers tighter together, and it really allows me to grab onto that ridge. Man, I could talk about mouse shapes forever. I don't think there's anyone who does like a really, really good pseudo-sciencey, not even sciencey, just like a really good description of shapes. I can give good descriptions of how things work for my grip, but it gets a little bit tricky when it's like other people's grips. Like Daz has his ridiculous far forward grip. He does like, don't even, no, he like hooks all the way at the front of the mouse like this with his ring. I don't know what he does with his pinky. I think he does this. Yeah. And then I used to grip with my, I used to keep my pinky separate. I gotta decide what I want to do with this X2H Crazylight. I absolutely love the mouse, and I don't want to get rid of it, but it's a black mouse, and as if you guys know, I do not like black and white. I do not like black and white. You want to see evidence of that? Oh, yeah. Find me plain black and white mice. Ignore these over here. The ones behind the door I forget about. But plain black and white? Unless it's like the only option. I do have like a TiVo Terra because we don't have special colorways of that yet. Go back and watch the Joel podcast episode. Yeah, anyway, I like my colors. I'll even change up colorways. Like that Glorious here. That's a Model O Pro that I've swapped yellow from a Series 1 Pro into. And then blue and white, yeah. Have I done any other fun color swaps? Swapped a scroll wheel on an ATK Leviathan. Some scroll wheel colors on Hitscan Hyperlight and Cougar Revenger Pro 4K. Yeah, I even have the like Founders Edition colorway of the Orbital Pathfinder. What a great mouse. Purple's nice. Fun fact, that purple weighs a teeny bit more. You guys can watch that on stream. I don't remember how much more. I want to say like 0.2 grams. You know, it's negligible, but it's just funny that, again, different polymers have different densities. I could even swap in. I have TTC opticals here. I could swap these into one of the Pulsar mice. But why don't we finish putting this one back together and then get on to modding the X2. So, okay. I have the baby monitor here, and then I look and the baby's gone. My wife is holding him. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, hun. Where did I put the skates? Oh, I put them on this. You're done with them? Okay. Yeah, thanks. By the way, Nova...
Where's the baby?
Yeah. Nova is in the room. It's official. Nova is in the room. She's not in her place. Oh, yeah, she's a good dog. Yeah, when she hears our newborn cry, she comes running. You know, she's a German Shepherd. If you guys are, like, new to the stream here, she's a German Shepherd, 1.5-ish old. She's really... Or, sorry, 2.5. What am I... Yeah. I forget what I was saying. But she's a really good dog. There's, like, a little bit of us that was, like, a little bit, you know, what if she doesn't take well to the new baby? Ended up being fine, of course, but... Also, these little scrapers, good for getting, like, adhesive off, too. As I, like, before I have even trialed it. No, yeah, that works. There we go. The reason I got that adhesive off there is because it'll collect dust. Yep. Yeah, these are good. I don't know. I don't think... I disagree. I don't think these are bad skates. They're rounded. Like, bad skates... I don't know. Maybe y'all just haven't used truly bad skates. Like, what has truly bad skates? I mean, obviously you can go to, like, Office Mice, but do we even talk about those? But, like, Daz says the Echo Nest, the skates are not at all rounded. And I have had... Who else did that with their skates? Oh. Nova is on nanny duties. That is exactly what she does, dude. When the baby would cry, she would bark at the baby and then run over to Lauren and I and bark at us like, do your damn job. Take care of the crying baby. Like, she definitely understands that it's a useless, powerless baby that is totally dependent on us. But she doesn't know how to make it stop other than notifying Lauren and I. So that's pretty cute. So I like to reverse roll these skates just a little bit to try to get out creases. You don't want to, like, reverse roll aggressively. You don't want to make them all warpy looking. But there we go. And then they have a nice glossy base for better adhesion. There we go. X2H Crazylight reassembled. Should I have, like, checked and made sure that everything turns on and functions? Yeah. We do have a green LED under there. Okay, we good. All right, let's go on to... Oh, you know what? I actually will leave this one out in case anyone has questions on it. Okay, next one. You know what? I didn't disinfect this mouse. That's actually kind of gross. I bought this used, again, $35 from eBay. I'm not going to tell you the seller because I like this seller a lot and I buy from them all the time, and then their prices have already gone up and you guys are going to find out about them. And but there is a place that does like a lot of Best Buy and Micro Center returns. So whenever like Micro Center gets a new mouse in stock, like they recently started carrying Lamzu and Cyrox stuff, I'm like, ooh boy, because that means I'm going to get... I got my hookup for returns, for cheap returns, because I don't pay full price on any mice. But yeah, it looks like Homeboy kind of shrouded on this mouse. New term, by the way. If you goober a mouse with gamer juice, with gamer gunk. Oh yeah, it's our, as of right this moment, our son is exactly 1 week old. To the minute. Good job, Lauren. Yep, baby has been kept alive for 1 week. Achievement unlocked. But yeah, shrouded, guys. It means if you got gamer gunk on your mouse. I even saw Dexerto posted a thing about it, which means it's gone kind of viral, so I love that. Shroud, you guys gotta go look it up on Twitter. Shroud on a stream. It's going to be a Mousecast topic this week, too, because it's so funny. He was like, is this normal, guys? And he shows his mouse, and it's just caked with gamer... Whoops, sorry. Not showing it on. It's just caked with gamer gunk. Like, everywhere except where his thumb is. Bro, I buy a lot of store returns. I have not seen one that bad. I mean, I've seen them pretty bad, where it's been, like... stored in a damp place so there's like mold growing on it, but the amount of gunk that he had, how does that not bother him? It is so weird. And then somebody posted a clip of him like bragging about taking a poop and it being so easy that he didn't wipe or wash his hands. Ugh. Oh wait, I'm supposed to take pictures of this one. So this one I actually am going to mod. We won't do a battery swap because a 4-gram battery, there's not really a whole lot to be saved there. Like maybe if you're like really going for a high score, you can reduce by a gram, but I'd rather have the battery life, especially since this is just Nordic 52 series. So we don't have our 54 series tier level battery life. All right, is this one going to come off as easily? Dude is so dumb he couldn't get as many as he... Dude, he could get as many as he wants for free. That mouse was disgusting, yeah. Yeah. It's not... The thing for me, I have seen some really gross mice doing all my refurbing and store pallet auction purchasing. So I have seen more gross, but it is really gross that he, like, actually asked his stream, is this okay? And it was like, bro, you could reduce the weight of his mouse by a full gram if you just scraped it off. It was terrible. And it was like, it like sat proud on the mouse. Like you would have felt it, you know, it's not just like a little coating or a little dusting. This was like accumulation that had been, you know, when the snow plows come by and they push everything to the corners of parking lots. That's what it was. It was open here and then pushed all around. Oh man. Oh, dude. Oh, we'll get a weight without skates. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I'll do weight without skates. 35 grams, dude, without skates. Like, you know what's another mouse that weighs 35 grams without skates? Is the Dairyu A950 Wing. Even lighter. I've base sanded this one, so it's not fair. But this thing feels so much... Yeah, just not as good. It's a shame. Pulsar did a really good job. Gotta give credit where credit is due. They have probably the best build quality, like 35-ish gram mouse on the market. Yeah. Okay, chat, hang on. I gotta grab my wife her water bottle. I'll be right back. Yeah. We don't know when the X2N, this is crazy, the X2N, we know the FCC leak happened back in September? And yet their 2026 roadmap had no mention of it. Their 2026 roadmap had like, what was it, like 13 new products or something? And at the end, they even tease IEMs, but no talk of X2N. Ish, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the dog. Dog cam. Dog cam. There you guys go. Well, I know I blocked the dog now, and that's all you guys want to see. You guys don't care about me. You guys want to see the dog. Also, shout out my post-it note here that's covering up my... Oh no, it's getting blown around. It's covering up the lights above because it helps with the exposure levels, something. Videography. I just use a smartphone. Every once in a while, I'll be thirsty and I'll like be like, I'm gonna get a drink, and I reach for my isopropyl alcohol. They gonna bark at them, Nova? Yeah, they came home. Probably home from work. 5:14 p.m. I wonder how much that how much did that L7 Pro Plus sell for on eBay that I showed on stream that was expiring in like 2 minutes? The last bid was like $39, and I think shipping was not free. So I really wouldn't have paid more than that unless they're like really out of stock. Recently viewed. It sold for, there you guys go. Sold for $44 plus $7 shipping. Wow. $51 before tax. That's like the AliExpress price. It's so weird. Like AliExpress mice. Maybe I've made a really good investment, you guys. Invest in AliExpress mice. Like all their prices are being jacked up, and the good things are being discontinued too. So like, I should have just bought. So it used to be that like they depreciate like crazy. Like if you buy an AliExpress mouse from a no-name brand and you spend like $60 on it, it's gonna be like, good luck getting $30 for it. Man, I don't want to like break this. These clips are in here really good. Let's try the other side. I did notice that this X2 seemed to have less side flex than the X2H. There we go. Okay, that clip did get a little smushed, but it looks still functional, so that's good. Oh, those are just on there really good. And then we're going to do the old dental pick trick to get that third and final clip back in there. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing. I can barely see what I'm doing too, so sorry. Oh, can I do it from inside the skate? No, not quite. There we go. Cool. There's the internals. Yeah, side button PCB looks the same, huh? Main PCB looks the same, battery looks the same. Yeah, they just swapped the top and bottom shells. Scalability, dude. It's been a minute since I've seen Phalange's video. Way back during peak Battlefront. Wow, yeah. Rando Temp. What was your gamer name back then? Would I remember you? Did you pug with us? I had to leave one of the... I got invited to North American Bros Discord and to the TSL Battlefront Discords. So I was like, sure. And I got a few messages on there. I'd get pinged occasionally to come play. And after I got spammed so much, like coming to go play pugs, and I was like, guys, I'm not coming back to this game. I'm done. I was like thinking about leaving them, and then I had one guy ping me out of nowhere with like a bunch of mentions and name calling me. I think he was like thinking he was funny, so I just left. It's like, okay. Yeah. I think it's just a lot of young people. I don't know, those games were really fun. Star Wars Battlefront. That screw is like in the way, brother. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the EA one, that one popped off because it got popular on like TikTok or something. That one came out in like what, 2019, 2017? Oh, I forget. But it popped off. To the point where some people are like, are you going to try it? Because I never got Battlefront 2. The one Battlefront 2 video that I have is a meme video of me playing the LucasArts Battlefront 2, but I used the thumbnail of the new one. Nah. I always say what kept me going in that game, it was 3 things. And I would return to the game if two of the things came back. The 3 things were, 1, cheaters were a major problem, both in private matches and in public lobbies. Like, public lobbies would just be decimated by a cheater, or private matches you would have, like, there were instances of people closet cheating. So then that just kind of ruins trust. You know, there's new up-and-comer who joins and is getting good, and now instead of it being congratulatory and wanting to get better to keep up with these better young players, you instead just think that they're cheating, because they very well might be, because there were instances of that. Second thing was, the game was just dead. It was just a dead game. If all I can do is play pickup matches, private pickup matches, and no public lobbies, that's like a huge detractor. And then the third and final nail in the coffin was all my friends stopped playing it. Like, I could deal with cheaters if like the game was busy and active and my friends were playing it, you know? That was basically Battlefront 5 or Battlefield 5 for me. Battlefield 5 had some pretty bad lobby breaking cheaters, but you'd still play it because, you know, when you do get a good game, it's a lot of fun, especially with friends. But yeah. And then, like, even if my friends didn't play it, if there were no cheaters and the game was really active, I loved the core gameplay, so I would have kept playing. This is the same exact battery as the X2H. They did get rid of the sleeving here. I forget. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. The heat shrink tubing. They have silicone wires on the battery, which I like to see. They're a little bit more flexible. Fun fact, like paracord cables, like CISA paracord cables, he just used silicone wires. Very nice. Scroll wheel. It's going to be the same weight. What was that, 1.81? Or sorry, 1.3, 1.4, I forget. This one actually might be a little bit heavier with the color. That's funny. I don't know. My scale is not exactly, like, calibrated, though, so... Same exact PCB. Let's just check, is the encoder the same height? Is it also a 10 millimeter? It is, in fact, a 10 millimeter. Sorry, you guys can't see it, but it is, in fact, a... No. Son of a gun. It's a 9 millimeter. So, that is really good to know. The reason why I need to check is because mice with, like, different click heights... Is this not going to focus? There we go. You guys can see this picture here. 9 millimeter. Yeah, so mice with different click heights, they usually have different scroll wheel heights. And the X2H, I guess I would have thought that was actually shorter, but in fact the X2 is shorter. Yeah, we'll get a bottom picture of the PCB. Maybe some close-ups also. Yeah, also these ATK factory mice, the PCBs will always say Seiko on them. No idea what it means. Nemsa asks in chat, Kale black green dot optical switch on the new production M-Shows L7 Ultra Plus. Is this a downgrade or upgrade to Omron Opticals? When you say downgrade, upgrade, I'm assuming you're talking click feel. Check Daz's review, dude, with a new VGN-F2 Master. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these new Kale opticals. I used them in a Titan Elite T1 Pro, and they were quite good in that. They are kind of like FE opticals. They're like an FE optical meets an Omron optical, where they have good spammability. They're a very pingy metallic sound, which is interesting. But the tactile point, it's like once you hit the tactile point, the collapse, the distance isn't very far. So they feel kind of shallow. They're light and they have a good rebound, so they're good for spammability. But if you want a really positive ka-chunk feel, you won't get that with those Kale opticals. 5.87 grams on a base is absolutely mental. That is very light. They did a really good job with these mice. ATK Factory's busy, huh? So why don't we do a few mods here? I was supposed to test this. Let's go over to the computer. Supposedly, this $35 Crazylight has a bad scroll wheel. So let's check. Sorry, some Windows sounds coming your way. I apologize. And I have to plug in my actual mouse, which I'm using an IPI Chi right now. Purple thing. And we're just going to go to mouse, double click test. I personally like this yellow one. And I'm just going to check the scrolling on it. So, yep, okay. See how it's bumping up right now? Occasionally it bumps up. That was only scrolling down, but it still bumped up. There we go. That bump. Yep. Okay. So we are getting a few ghost scrolls. Interestingly, too, I feel like I was getting some ghost clicks. No. Okay. I think it's just the scrolls. So this really is not that bad of an issue. Yeah, I'm not even getting any here. I had a couple slowdowns just there now. So one thing is, so these encoders, over time, the internals can oxidize a little bit, and that will make them start having issues. But the Death Adder V3 scroll wheels, the Kale ones and those are famous for, you can just take the mouse, flip it upside down, and roll the wheel around like crazy for a couple minutes. And that will generate enough friction inside of the wheel that it'll like rub away at the oxidized layer that's making it not work. And then, you know, fast forward a couple months, it'll oxidize again and you have to do it again. But hey, it's an easy fix. Yeah, I will replace this. I have, so 9mm encoders. I do have Alps encoders, so that's good. Let's check clicks real quick, just to make sure that these don't have any issues. I mean, I'm going to be replacing them anyway, but I want to make sure that the switches are at least decent. I really don't have issues with optical switches, so yeah, okay, cool. Unplug, that window sound was me, sorry, and let's go back over to the other camera. Mousecast this week, we're going to have special guest Elo Shapes on again. The first time we haven't had a second guest, I actually, it's a little bit awkward. I reached out to Elo Shapes to come back on back in December when he posted about his mousepad database. I was like, hey, you want to come on? And I was like, I have a bunch of questions for you. You want to come on? And he was like, yeah, with the holidays, I don't really have time. And like, it didn't line up for my timeline either. So we just kept kicking the can down the road. And here we are like 2 months later after he's launched it. And we're going to finally talk about it. But that's okay. Better late than never. And we always love, I mean, I want to get more returning guests on. It's just tough with the time zone difference. We have to, Daz and I both I tell everyone to get on at 6 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning for the 6:30 show, because we got to do like audio checks and stuff. I'm going to do like 650 degrees on my soldering iron here. Psycho, the watch brand? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Do people pay you to mod, or do you do what you fancy? I do what I fancy. I haven't had a couple people ask me like for paid commissions, but I generally it's not that I'm opposed to it. It's just, think about it. If you pay to ship me a mouse, ship it to me, then I spend a couple hours modding it and I charge a reasonable rate of like 15-ish dollars an hour, and it'll take me an hour or two. And then materials, and then pay to ship it back, you're in like $50. And at that price, my soldering iron was $30. Solder is like $5 on AliExpress. A solder sucker is like $5. Bro, just do it yourself and learn a skill while you're at it. I used to, back in the day, I actually used to do some modding stuff for free. Not anymore. My time is too valuable. I'm sorry. If I can't, like, get something out of it equivalent to, like, you know, being able to get another budget mouse or something for content, I'm sorry. But really, it just comes down to, don't be afraid to learn a new skill. And if you have like a really fancy, let's say you're trying to mod a mouse, but all you have is something really expensive, like, I don't know, what's an expensive mouse, guys? Harpy Ace Extreme Carbon Fiber Edition. And you don't want to roast it? Go to the practice soldering on something else. I mean, there's probably cheap crap electronics you have laying around that you could try it out on, whether it's like an old, oh man, I'm gonna date myself, like a VCR or old keyboard. Go to your like local thrift store and pick up a keyboard. It doesn't have to be mechanical or anything. Anything with a PCB will suffice. And just practice desoldering something. Fortunately, also, Micro Center has a really good tinkering hobbyist, like soldering 3D printing section too. If that's any of y'all's jam. Well, there we go. One Pulsar FE out. Let's do the second one. I've never seen a real VCR. Oh, Lauren, we're old. A guy in chat says he's never seen a real VCR. I know. Yeah, I can. Ugh. I mean, VCRs are pretty wild if you think about it. It's like tape wound up into a little spool. Hi, doggy. Well, you guys got to look at the doggy while I was gone. You see this dog butt right here? It's a cute one. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, have you seen cassette tapes? At the dog butt. Have you seen cassette tapes, my ink? WL Mouse Ying, that thing that needs modding and is expensive. Schwamper, you're 100% right. Schwamper says, I want to see you back on an FPS game. Phalanges, Crab Champs doesn't count. I know, dude. I know. I'm considering like downloading CS2 and giving that a try, but people also say like it's so filled with cheaters. Like, I don't like tax shooters, but I just like how, as somebody else put it, it's a simple game to understand. It's impossible to master though. That kind of attracts me a little bit. Like, it has just really good core. I don't think I've ever been mechanically wise, I've never been a super duper talented FPS player. You know, you guys can go watch my Battlefield gameplay. You know, I'm a totally, you know, competent pub stomper, but I ain't no pro. Far from it. Comfortably halfway in between, maybe. Maybe. On a good day. But like my Kovacs, I'm only like a Kovacs plat. I'm really not anything special. I mean, Kovacs plat is still like, it still is like what, 75th percentile ish, and that's of people who play Kovacs. So like it's definitely better than Joe Schmo, than other battle dads. I'm officially a battle dad. But I think what I do better at is like more of the decision making stuff. So maybe I would be better at like attack FPS in that regard, but I don't know. Attack FPS also tends to be not very forgiving because like the search and destroy game modes just in general are not a forgiving game mode. They're too slow too. I tried Black Ops 6. I forget the numbers. When they had their free-to-play weekend back in like November. When Battlefield 6 really disappointed me. What? Why is that not sucking? Oh, because there's no pads on this side. Look at that. Okay, then. We got hard mode desoldering here. Yeah, we got hard mode. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, I was disappointed with Black Ops, though. It felt very manufactured. It felt very, like, ADD manufactured engagements. I don't know, maybe Battlefield 6 I'll get back into it now that they've polished up the game a bit more, and if it can go on sale for a good price. But also Schwamper, I want to play, I'll be down to play some finals with you. It's a little bit, there's definitely parts of the game that I don't love. Like I don't love how it's a little bit of oh, I need to suck on the other side. Whoops. How do we want to suck? I think we want to suck this way. Yeah. Like, I don't like how some of the engagements can be a little bit Overwatchy, where it's like the matchup matters a lot and you can't just outgun anyone. But it's definitely not at all, like, it's still much closer to a traditional FPS in that regard than it is to an Overwatch. But that is something that bothered me about Overwatch. I'd be down to play like an Overwatch with friends and just not take it so seriously. I don't know. I'm at the point where Crab Champs was kind of an inflection point where I'm really not taking gaming as seriously as I used to. I think a lot of us can fall into that. You know, taking games too seriously, particularly PvP games. We're going to grab some Omron Opticals here, boys. We're going to first bin them. If you guys want to see how to put in Omron Opticals, I posted a video this week. It's only 2 minutes long, so it's an easy watch. It's funny, I got a handful of comments that were like, why would you do this? So you're using an optical switch, but removing the best part of it. And it's just so funny because I got like 2 comments that are like that, which it's a totally valid concern. But then I got a bunch of likes and views on the video that are not saying that. So that just goes to show, if you don't like Omron Opticals, you have no idea why I do this. Nope. 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 Oh, that one's pretty good. So number 1 here was really good. So what I'm doing here is I'm just binning them. Sorry, I need to be answering questions here. Speaking of VCRs, went to the last Blockbuster that is open? Really? Whoa, tell more about that. What? Are they still owned, like, Blockbuster as the company, or is it, like, somebody else using their namesake? Or you just announced their web driver? Wonder if Logitech will do the same with Superstrike. Yeah, that's interesting. I thought, wasn't in the Superstrike teaser video that Logitech did in September? When did they do their teaser video? Didn't they show a web driver? Was under development. This one's not bad. I think I'm gonna rebin though. I'm gonna rebin. You need to get into some single player / story based games. I could. I don't know. Like, I'm also not the best at like. Do you guys remember The Wolf Among Us? Telltale Games. This is back when I was in college. I remember. I think I just picked up one of my old switches. Whoops. I remember instead of buying the game, I just watched all the cutscenes on YouTube. Yes, Lauren, what's up? How much longer? I am I would not say less than a half an hour. Dinner, yeah. Yeah, I can get started on dinner once I'm done with this. I just need to rip out... Oh, let's rip out the encoder while we're here. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, wait, I need to... So, on my jaws here, I have one that's wrapped in... It's just heat shrink that it's just wrapped in. And I use that as kind of soft jaws, so if I grip a PCB, I don't muck anything up. So... Oh, wait, what? Okay, I was like, I don't need to grip the PCB, though. I'm stupid. Okay, we're gripping... So how I desolder encoders... And this is a Pulsar 9mm. What the S means, I don't know. Man, these Pulsar blue encoders, though, they're so good. Like, I'm tempted to... I might not even throw this one out. I might try... Should I try the scroll wheel trick that I talked about earlier? Should I do it, chat? Where I put this in and I just yeet it until it fixes itself. I don't want to break it, though. I kind of feel like I might break this without the forks to support it. So I'm going to put in... Yeah, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to put in... Here's a Darmo Shark wheel, yeah. Dummy Shark. Oh, that's not going to fit. Oh, the SteelSeries mouse is on? What? Will a GPX wheel fit? No, it won't. Here we go. Here's an Infic INX wheel. This should fit. This is a small little wheel. Yeah, small little baby wheel. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the thing around on my desk like it's a little car that I'm playing with. And try to loosen up some of the oxidation. I can roll it on the dog. You guys want to see that? Yeah, that works. Look at that. And you're getting pet. Can I go backwards? Is that going to annoy you? Oh, yeah, that's kind of annoying. This is what I had. So I have a Death Adder V3 Faker Edition. And this is what I did to fix it. Because I got it cheap because it had the scroll wheel issue. And I was going to desolder it. But I just did this instead and it worked. Yeah, so encoders, they have like a little, they have like a, you know, I'm not going to try explaining it. If you guys are really that nerdy where you want to know how a mouse encoder works, you can probably look up videos on YouTube or pictures on Google Images. You know what really upsets me? Google Images now that I use all the time, the first two results, at least on the mobile Brave app that I was on, the first two results are ads, are sponsored. So... You know, when you're on desktop and you get like, you search for something and the first result is like the AI overview or sponsored, I'm kind of okay with that because my eyes, I can still see the actual results below. So I just get used to ignoring those top results and seeing that immediately. But with Google Images, you Google something and on mobile, you only see the first two results. So if you don't realize that those are sponsored, and you know, I was Googling something about basement paint and instead I got like pictures of somebody's porch, I was like, oh, I Googled the wrong thing. And then I saw that they were sponsored ads for some building contractor. So yeah, sponsored Google Images are really dumb. If you want to put an ad or something, like, make me still see my content first. And they're totally aware of this. They make those ads that size on purpose, you know? Because they want you to have to scroll past it in order to get to your actual result, because then it's a confirmed, you know, view. Should I be going the other way too, Nova? I don't even know. What is this content that you guys are watching? Oh, it's all getting all... Oh, look at that. I got dog hair all over it. My dog shrouded... No, this isn't shrouding on your mouse. Is it? we need to get Shroud to open up his GPX and see what the scroll wheel looks like. Because, bro, if that's how much gunk he has on the outside, imagine what's on the inside that doesn't get wiped off, you know? Bro, so he goes and, like, he probably games... He probably games and then goes, like, eats food or whatever, right? Gamer things. Ugh. Brother. Alright, we're gonna see if this worked. Do you have some contact cleaner to spray into the encoder, Mr. LKL? Oh, I should. I wonder if I can use, I wonder if isopropyl alcohol would work. You're probably right. Contact cleaner would be the play. So what he's talking about, y'all, is electronics contact cleaner. If I can spell. So I guess WD-40 has a product. So what is it? Is it just kind of like a mild solvent? Like a CLR type of thing? You know, CLR spray, this stuff. Because oxidation is, you know, like iron oxide or... Anyway. Let's plug this back in. See if we have any ghost scrolls. So I'm just going to continue scrolling down. We don't want to see any... We don't want to see it go up at all. Yep, it's not going up. That's good. If it has skull and crossbones on the can, it cleans good. Yeah. It was the real Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. It's more of a merch store at this point, but they do have some DVDs. That's cool. Are they really removing Omron Opticals in the L7 Ultra Plus new batch? Yeah, as far as I know. That's what their website says, bussy. Oh yes, Viscose on pod. I haven't asked Viscose or anyone from the raw input stuff. Me and Pingu have... Oh, that was me that time. I'm not getting any ghost scrolls on the downward direction. Let's check the upward direction. So I'm just only pressing up. I'm only scrolling up here. You guys can't really see, but I did message a little bit with Pingu because I wanted to get their pronouns right. But other than that, oh, and we exchanged some messages about that armrest thing that they checked out. And Pingu actually wrote like a full ass review for it. I just did like my stupid little pod, my little live stream overview, and I was like, yeah, this is junk. Instantly returned. Well, guys, I'm not getting any ghost scrolls. So problem is solved for now. And then I'll probably not use this mouse for a hot minute because MCHO's L7 exists. And then I'll come back to it and it'll be ghost scrolling again. I'll have to do this again, but no problem. No problem. So we'll just do the Omron Opticals in this bish. Which I already have them binned. Oh, did I switch cameras? No, I didn't. There is a scroll wheel test with the red-green line out there that is real simple to use. Yeah. So what Mr. LKL is talking about is mouse scroll wheel test. Not trust. This one right here. Yeah, this is the one he's talking about. Yeah, this is also helpful in seeing how many steps it's doing. Anywho. So yeah, if I flip my mouse upside down, what does it look like? Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Enough of that. Oh, sorry, dog. She's going into her other spot. Alright, where were we? That's funny. My voice is getting a little bit hoarse, I think, from talking too much. I mean, I've effectively been talking for... How long have I been live for? Hour and a half? Okay, not as bad as I thought. Okay, usually when I bin these, I put them right and left. Yeah, I like that. Okay. My left mouse here has a little bit more spongy rebound, so that's going to be better for spammability. And my right mouse, it has a little bit heavier tactility. So that'll be nice. Wow, I'm smart. I just turned off my soldering iron. Wow. While we wait for that to heat up, why don't I clean up the contact points here just to make sure that things sit nice and flush? Yeah, Mr. LK. Dude, you are so friggin' knowledgeable, dude. I need to, I do need to get some contact cleaner. I really should. Yeah, I don't know if, like, will isopropyl alcohol actually be worse? Because I know when you get it on stuff, sometimes it gets kind of a white film. I don't know. I could, you know, just put some IPA in a cup and just dunk it. Dunk it and shake it. Nova TM method. Time for me to head out. Have a good stream. Thanks, Mr. LKL. See you around. Thanks for contributing as you always do. Okay, did I put the right one in? Yes, I did. Okay. Cool. So the small pins on Omron Opticals, one's a, two of them, they're both diodes. One's a transmitter, one's a receiver. Maybe the receiver's not a diode. I don't know how it exactly works. But on Omron's website, on their data sheet, they call them TX and RX pins. But there are optical switches that do not use this 5-pin design because they have the transmitter and receivers are built into the PCB, like Ratias do that. And TTCV ones do that. But these instead are built into the switch, so we need to... No? Okay, good, it fell, but it fell not far. Yeah, that's the worst, when you drop something and it just goes into the abyss. It's just gone. And you're like, how? Like, you find it and it'll be like 3 meters away. Yards, for the American viewers. I don't know, where's everyone from? We got 17 people watching right now. That's more than usual. I've seen this stream had like quite a bit more viewership than what my streams are usually like 9 people. But where are y'all from who are who's watching? It's always shocking how many global viewers there are. Like, man, I'm just a stupid American. Fathoming that other countries exist is just impossible. Sorry, I meant mouse recommendation. Recommendation for CAD and some light gaming. So it depends what CAD. So like I do, my day job is doing CAD work, and for me, in Autodesk Inventor, middle mouse is like really important. So like a lot of Pulsar mice, the non-Crazylight stuff, the Pulsar blue encoder for zooming, plus their really nice middle mouse mechanism felt really good, but I don't know, like I wouldn't buy. I mean, when you say like CAD, do you want a lot of hotkeys? Because if that's the case, there are a lot fewer options. I mean, Keychron stuff comes to mind. There's a lot of Keychron options that have extra thumb buttons. I mean, maybe just have 2 different mice also. But battery life is probably going to be important to you if you're both working and gaming at the same computer. So maybe consider Nordic 54L15 stuff for better battery life. Washington, West Coast, Best Coast. Oh, I didn't know you were from Washington, Schwamper. I remember you were West Coast, but yeah, Washington. I had a friend who was from the Seattle area, but she like bordered Oregon. She was like, there was like a river, and she lived like on the border of it, and I don't know, something. And was it Washington or Oregon that had the memes about the people couldn't pump their own gas? I'm gonna have to relube the scroll wheel because I got dog hair on it now. Is the music still going? It is, okay. Wisco here. What is Wisco? Oh, Wisconsin. Jeez. Who the heck calls it Wisco? Right, Lauren? Yeah, she says, I think only people from Wisconsin call it Wisco. Are you just trying to be cool? Because you live in such a crappy state? No, Wisconsin is fine. I've been there. Wisconsin is like Walmart, Michigan. Oh, damn. I don't disagree. Oh, that's funny. We're taking the UP after that comment, LOL. That's okay. You can have them. Actually, no, the UP is awesome. Apparently, Michiganders have like beef with Ohioans because of, well, I mean, there's like school rivalries with football or whatever that I really don't care about, but it's because of the Toledo. There was like the Toledo War or something, whatever. There was a dispute about the like southern part of Michigan / northern part of Ohio where Toledo is, where that was either going to be in Michigan or in Ohio. Ultimately, obviously, Ohio got it, and I don't remember the details of it, but apparently that was like a start of some feud, war, something. I don't know. Everyone outside the U.S. is like, why do I care? You can look up Toledo, Ohio, if you care. We did get the UP as a consolation prize from that, yes. And with the UP, we got... What did we get with the UP? We got wood. We got copper. We got... More, we did get Lake Superior, yes. Lake Superior, best lake ever. Actually, I don't know. It's the coldest lake, but it is probably the coolest. It's the prettiest. But yeah, Lake Michigan is actually the best for, you know, going to the beach. Unless you want some of them Lake Erie chemicals. Actually, I hear that Lake Erie is not that bad anymore, but we can still meme on Lake Erie. Iron. Oh yeah, iron too. Yeah, all the yeah. UP would be a good move if you play. There's probably some tabletop game with these elements. Sorry, so what was I doing here? I soldered in Omron Opticals. Do we want to test click fuel? I think we do. I'm probably lollygagging around too much. It's almost 6 o'clock. I need to go get started on dinner. Let's plug it. Oh, before I plug it in, let's check. Make sure that the clicks actually work. Sorry, Windows sound is me. Yep, left mouse works, right mouse works. Cool. I always like checking before putting the shell back together because, like, this was a pretty tight shell. It's a little bit laborious to take apart. Click feel. Do I like these? They're okay. They're smooth. There's a little bit too much spring back in the upward direction that for my choice, but it does feel consistent. It's a very smooth fulcrum bend, so we're going to stick with it. We'll see how it feels. This will be the benchmark, the baseline. What is UP? Also, why is a lake called Superior? Is there a lake inferior? I believe Lake Superior got its name because of its size or location north. Okay, so Lake Superior, because it's north, it's above geographically. But UP stands for Upper Peninsula, so the state of Michigan, which is where I'm from, is 2 parts. It's the Lower Peninsula, which is shaped like a mitten, very easy to find. All of you guys from outside the US should be able to find Michigan from a world map because it's the part that looks like a mitten. These feel okay. They feel a little bit on the heavy side. Yeah, so the Lower Peninsula has like 90% of Michigan's population are in the Lower Peninsula. It's like where Detroit is. And then the Upper Peninsula is mostly just like forest. There's like a couple large-ish cities that are not that large. Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie. That's it. Yeah, Hancock and yeah. Anyway, so the click feel on this, it's a little bit... I mean, it's good. It's just a little bit stiff. So I'm actually going to open this up and loosen it a hair. So to loosen it, very easy. Oh, I love this ATK PCB. So easy to get to. I'm going to leave right mouse where it's at, but left mouse, we're going to make it a little bit lighter. So to do that, we take out the main button. Very easy. And the fulcrum here, I like to do. It's called fulcrum bending. I'm just going to preload this a little bit. I don't want to break it like a dum-dum, which I've done before on these polycarbonate mice. Sometimes I've even scored with a X-Acto knife. I've scored this. You also could probably use heat. That might be a way to get better granularity. These polycarb, dude, polycarb really likes to keep its shape. But now you see... Yeah, it's definitely less. I think I want a little bit more. Oh. This doesn't feel great, though, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the polycarb, it's just not a very pliable... Ductile is the... Yeah, I think that's good there. It's kind of in between. Oh, and I was going to lubricate this. I forgot about my super lube. Get my Dijon mustard. We get a toothpick. We put a little bit of Dijon mustard, aka super lube, synthetic silicone lube. And we'll do the scroll wheel axle here where they already have some, because where it contacts the fork, we want that to be a nice smooth lubricated sensation. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I could actually lubricate the forks instead. Which is that, it looks like that's what the factory actually does. Am I in the shot? I am. Okay, good. I'm like perfectly, but like one time I'm perfectly centered in the shot is the one time I doubt it. Okay, and we already have lube on the buttons here. We're just going to push that in a little bit more. Oh, they really goobered this one. That's funny. So whatever, the grease you use doesn't matter a ton. This ain't no like keyboard nerding out level of, you don't have to call out what type of lubricant you use on your build, but you do need to use a synthetic. You do need to use preferably a silicone base. You don't want to use petroleum based, because petroleum based will degrade plastics and rubbers over time. It takes a really long time. Look, it'll take years, but it will. Like if you put petroleum based grease on like a rubber for a long time, it'll make that rubber turn back into like liquid. Oh, I got shroud on the back of this mouse, so let's wipe that off. I could have sworn I wiped the whole thing pretty good. I just use isopropyl alcohol, and on I have a spool of paper towel that I keep here, but I mean isopropyl alcohol will kill everything. And it'll also kind of help get fingerprints off and degrease a little bit too. You do have to be careful with, I haven't run into coatings that really are a problem with on modern mice, but like old Razor stuff. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, again, you can tell that the fulcrum is polycarbonate. It has kind of a firmness to it that feels a little bit resistive. I don't know the exact term. But that's still better than the FE Opticals. Yeah, I think the problem is just the polycarb shell, that fulcrum, just, it feels too, it's a little bit too firm. It's a little bit like a magnesium. I'm feeling too much of the fulcrum and not enough of the switch. But anyway, they're soldered in, they're good. I got a couple FE Opticals out of it here because I have a bajillion Omron Opticals, so it's good to have some extra FEs around. Let's reassemble. Oh. I'm missing a screw. What? Did I not put the... No, I didn't. Okay, this actually might affect click feel a little bit doing this here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So what I was saying about coatings and isopropyl alcohol is Razor, like their old rubberized coat, not just Razor, but like back in like 2013 when they would put rubberized fat grips on all their mice, those would like degrade. Oh, no, that feels even better now. Nice. That is a really nice implementation. Again, there still is that, like, firm spring back that the polycarb fulcrum is doing, but Still feels good. Oh, chat, I'm so stupid. I was like, this feels really light. Yeah, I forgot the friggin' battery. Good thing I didn't screw it back together. What kind of modder am I? Literally forgets to put the battery in. I still love... I have that one post on Reddit where I soldered a switch upside down. And it's funny because... I mean, for the most part, comments are pretty lighthearted, but occasionally, especially on Reddit, you'll get like one idiot who's like, you know, wow, I can't believe you do that. Like, how incompetent of you. And it's like, buddy, I've probably desoldered and soldered more switches than you ever will. But yeah, if it makes you feel better, you can argue with me on the internet. Yeah, those old rubber grips back in the day, though, they would get eaten up by isopropyl alcohol. I forget who made, like, somebody asked about coatings publicly, and was it like Endgame Gear or Lamsey, where somebody responded being like, making a good coating is way harder than what people think. We even test different hand lotions to ensure like compatibility. Also, like people have like different pHs of their sweat, and that has like an effect too. Like some people are more acidic. It's just wild. Yeah. Yeah, making stuff is hard, you guys. Manufacturing things is hard. We potentially have coming on Mousecast soon, TM, somebody who is kind of getting into making their own mouse, we'll say. And I hope to hear more insights about working with contract manufacturers from that, and the development process, and how it is definitely harder than what people realize. I still like to give the example of, I think it was Mercedes-Benz switched wiring harness material in their cars to like a biodegradable material, and the biodegradable material was no problem, except they found out that it attracted a certain spider in like Australia or somewhere, I forget where, but it attracted a certain spider, and then these spiders would go and make nests inside of their cars because they were attracted to the wiring harness, and like that was, how could you like friggin' predict that, you know? They had to issue a recall for it. Just Kim. What about Just Kim? Oh, modding something? This is a hot take, but I actually prefer no coding like on G-Wolves mice. That is a hot take, but sure. Hey, I respect that. I mean, easy enough with sandpaper, right? To make all mice feel the same then. Face wash for older coatings. I use grip tape anyway. I don't like coating sticking to my palm when my palm gets sweaty. Sure, yeah. Dude, Schwamper, we gotta play some finals, dude. I might be able to play at some point this week. Are you gonna be around? I can be on late at night. I would love to play some finals. No guarantees about performance. I'm not very good at the game. I don't really know what I'm doing. I can look at things and shoot, and I can grab boxes and run, but I won't know, like, you'll have to help me like when to do things and how to counter things. I also don't think I have much unlocked. I think I just have like yeah, I think I've only tried the medium person too. I haven't tried the light, the scout, or whatever they're called. Oh, was I supposed to take more internal photos? Did I miss out on that? I think I got the battery. I got the base. Yeah, I think I got it. That's fine. I was guessing the pod guest. Oh, Just Kim. No. Just Kim would be a decent guest, because he has a YouTube channel, and it always helps when they have a channel, or when they have content, because then you kind of know what you're signing up for. Okay, chat. I think this is gonna be it for the stream. We're gonna quickly take a look at the special guest of the stream, which is Nova. Hi, doggy. Are you sad? It's too cold outside to play. You poor baby. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Oh yeah, there's your leg. You want me to scratch your leg? Yeah, good. Yeah, what a good dog. Oops, that's me. There you go. Wide angle lens. Yeah, it's a good dog. She loves having her butt scratched. That's my girl. Alright. Well, we gotta figure out something for dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for the regular people who hang out and chat. I really appreciate you guys. Should be around. Should be. They changed how unlocks work for new players, so you should be able to put together a decent kit. NovaCam. Hey, people love La Raza in chat. Yeah, NovaCam. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Rando Temp. Thank you, Schwamper, Myank, Viva La Raza, Tiger Claws. Everyone else in chat, I really appreciate you guys. Mr. LKL was in here earlier. Schwamper, maybe DM me or something if... No, I'll DM you. I'll DM you if I'm free. Have a nice dinner. Thank you. You guys too. Catch you later. Leave any questions in the comments below. Mousecast going to be Saturday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Special guest Elo Shapes. Okay, bye.